What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 114 of Psychotic and Iconic. Paul's here along with my co-hosts Nick Theories, Mikey P, and Philly Phil. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in to the live stream tonight. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and share it. Thank you to everybody that likes, follows, and subscribes to all of our platforms. Your turn.
Tonight,
your turn.
We have a special guest here at Bartle Studios. The one and only. You know what? Fuck it, Phil. Give him a drum roll.
Come on, Phil.
A real
He deserves it. The one and only GodFavre! He's back! He's back!
Welcome
I'm back,
baby.
baby.
Let's go. Bring it, baby.
Yeah, bring it. Well, bring it tonight.
We promised you, okay? Eagles whooped the Cowboys. You know he's got to be here for that.
Their ass. Straight up 6-0.
Cow pukes.
That's all I got to say to you Cowboys fans.
Nice and early. As promised, bringing the GodFavre energy,
Woo!
okay? So we're going to get right into it, but first, I got to say my shit, all right? You guys ready? It's been a minute.
Is this your fourth time up here? 4 episodes? Wow.
I can't believe it's only
He's a season
only
vet.
4. He's I mean, you know what? It feels like he's on every show because he's in the comments going nuts.
Bring it, baby.
It's great.
Fair.
All right. So, Psychotic and Iconic, episode 114, powered by Playmaker, is brought to you by Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Also, we're live right now at the Props Network at propshq.com. Be sure to go over there and subscribe to our show and keep up with all of our football coverage all season long. Man, we're already going into week 7. What the hell's going on here? Anyway, what are we wearing,
when you're having
guys?
fun, man.
What are we wearing?
I'm wearing Believe Me Yet because they should believe me.
There you go, Just Ant.
What the hell are we talking
Shout
about?
out at Just Ant
Shout out
right
Ant.
there. He does our
brother.
song.
Fantastic
All right.
fabric.
Fantastic fabric. Philly Phil's got a sweatshirt on too. You can't see him, but P&I merch, courtesy of IPP Pressworks, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. If you want some P&I merch, be sure to DM us for pricing and details. We'll get you taken care of. And last but not least, our next episode this week, we'll be in studio again on Thursday, 8 p.m. We'll give you our Week 7 game picks. We'll break it down, preview everything for you. Now, what a weekend for Philadelphia, baby.
Wow.
The Flyers are 2-0. What? The Sixers start tonight. The Phillies. NLCS.
Yeah.
Starting now. Right now. It is on right now.
And we're going to sweep the Padres.
Oh,
There you go.
that's bold. Bold.
On gang.
That's bold.
There you
I
go.
hope.
All
Less
right.
stress.
The Yankees moved on, so we're down to the final 4. Phillies, Padres in San Diego tonight. Yankees, Astros, nice little rematch over there. Looking forward to it. Let's go, Phillies. Last but not least, and this is where we're starting our show, because, I mean, look at GodFavre. We got to go there first. The 6-0 Philadelphia Eagles.
6-0, baby.
Hit, fly, Eagles, fly, for my guy,
Come on.
GodFavre.
Come on, Phil. Yo, Phil. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. It sucks. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1-2. Down, it sucks. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Let's go, guys! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Woo! No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. We're from Philly. Fucking Philly. No one likes us. We don't care. No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. We're from Philly. Fucking Philly. No one likes us. We don't care. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Dallas sucks!
Wow.
Yeah!
GodFavre energy. GodFavre energy.
Let's go, baby!
You can feel the
6-0!
vibrations, bro.
4-2! Where you at?
Look at my arm.
4-2! I'm
The hair's
spitting.
raised on
I
my
don't
arm.
care. I'm
picked the
spitting
worst
all
night to
over the
wear
place.
You need a mask.
Woo! Yeah, bring the mask, baby.
Oh my God.
Bring
So,
it, baby.
That's right, I bring it. Bring the
man,
heat.
yeah, you can feel the vibration.
Come on.
That's great. That's good energy out there. Way to start it.
Hey. Dallas cockroach. What the fuck you doing here?
I thought you were whacking your bag.
So did I actually.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This might be an all-time beginning of the show.
What's
literally.
up, Disco Dave?
Where they at? Where those Dallas fans at?
Oh my god.
They hide.
Yeah,
They're in hiding.
where are they now?
That's right.
Man.
Cooper Rush went down.
Yeah, we're gonna
5-0.
get right into it.
Oh wait. 5-1.
We're gonna get into it right now.
No picks. 3 picks.
And I still want you to break this game down with GodFavre energy. It literally says
That's
it right
right.
here. What does it say in the script? Break down game with GodFavre energy. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Philadelphia Eagles 26, Cowboys 17 on Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys moved to 4-2. So the Eagles go in a nice, cushy, they got a 1-game lead on the Giants, 2 on the Cowboys going into the bye. And
Yep.
I guess we have to start with the Eagles. So why don't we start with, hey, what's the most impressive thing from this particular game? Because there was a lot here.
For me, it's just their ability to attack other defenses. They make defenses play their game. And it's just, I mean, Micah Parsons, LT 2.0, that needs to die. But he didn't have any hits on the quarterback until Lane Johnson went out.
Micah who?
Yeah, so I just for me, it's just the Eagles are better. And I know they had a little bit of a second half comeback and things. They came out firing. That's good to see from Dallas because they didn't quit, which normally I feel like those teams roll over under Mike McCarthy. But I mean, the Eagles are just better. Top to bottom,
Absolutely.
they're just a better team. D-backs,
Definitely.
no matter which way you put it,
You're speaking nothing but facts.
the Eagles are just better. And, with Dak coming back, Dak's not coming back and everything's going to be solved immediately. He's going to have a couple games where he has to get used to throwing the football again.
Yeah, well, we'll get to him. We'll get to him in a little bit.
I
We'll
agree.
get there. But theories, your take.
I think the biggest thing for me is that when Dallas made it a 3-point game, the Eagles responded. They went down the field and scored a touchdown. That is a sign of a good team. That's a sign of a killer instinct. I know they struggled in the second half. You know, Dallas was starting to make a run, but the Eagles responded with a touchdown, and that was major, especially to get that crowd back into the game. That was everything for that team, and I think that was a very important sign for the Eagles moving forward.
Absolutely.
Great point. GodFavre.
So, with the Eagles, what impressed me was I thought that game was going to be tight all the way through. Those two teams, they battle it out last year they didn't, but this year I thought there was going to be a little more, closer game.
Like a seesaw?
When they were up 17-0, I couldn't believe it. Then they were intercepting the ball, but then when Dallas came back, to your point, they just hung in there, started running the ball, spread the ball out, and got that touchdown. Dallas tried to kick that field goal at the end, but when they missed it, oh my God.
Yeah.
Best.
It's awesome. I mean, the thing is, the Philadelphia Eagles need to be better in the second half, particularly. In the fourth quarter, they still close out these games, though. The thing that impressed me the most was, I mean, obviously, the controlling part, the fact they controlled this game. I had Dallas covering the spread there, and mostly because their defense has been so phenomenal. It looked like no difference for the Eagles. They played their game, and when they got out of sync there a little bit at the end, Dallas makes a comeback. The most impressive thing for me was the Eagles just saying, hey, you know what? We're going to get back into our style. We're going to run the fucking football down your throat.
Yep.
And you're not going to stop us. And the offensive line, they just drove them backwards. Miles Sanders looked phenomenal. Jalen Hurts, as a runner, is very hard to stop, especially on short yardage. Everyone talks about, they need a bruiser. they can't be stopped on short yardage right now. Imagine if they did have another guy in the stable. The point is, they stuck to their guns, and they went out there and they took control.
Yeah.
They were not fazed by the moment,
The difference
and
maker.
they were not shell shocked by the comeback.
Couple difference makers.
That's a winning team.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Oh,
He's
man.
big time.
When they got him from the Saints, that was a piece they were missing. A.J. Brown. Any other year, he didn't get that ball, they weren't scoring that touchdown.
True wide receiver
Get
one.
up. Yeah, true numbers. Wide
They
receiver
had
number
2
one.
of them.
I was getting ready to mention that.
Absolutely.
And the Eagles' ability to run the football effectively like that opens it up for the play action for A.J. Brown to go on his slants, and it's wide open, and he's getting chunk plays on that. So that is major for the Eagles moving forward, and they're getting him involved. Devontae Smith had a decent game. I like to see a little bit more from Goddard. I think his potential is out of this world, but I feel like he's being like somewhat capped to his ability for now.
Yep.
I want to see him really explode because he's a really good player.
Yeah, you
He's
know
a
what?
really good
They
player.
should get him more involved.
I agree.
I feel like that's part on the coaching staff, but also, I mean, hey, there's just so many mouths to feed.
I agree.
And
They're so loaded.
I was going to say, too, I actually think it's a little bit difficult because when you have Miles Sanders running like that, and then you're getting A.J. Brown involved, I mean, are you going to throw to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith before you throw to Goddard?
Yeah.
No. And it's just like, that sucks. But, I mean, he's a great third option.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just saying, like, in terms of he's a sure-handed third option. Then you have Zach Pascal as your 4 or Quez Watkins, whoever you want to go.
Yeah.
But with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, those big targets on the outside, and with Miles Sanders running the way he's running, I mean, it's kind of pick your poison at this point.
It's hard to stop because you have a running quarterback.
But
Like,
I do
Jalen
agree
Hurts
with
can
you.
also run.
He's getting capped, and especially for fantasy football, he's becoming a little bit touchdown dependent because the Eagles are they're throwing to everybody on the roster.
Yep.
Exactly.
Like,
Hard to defend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't defend.
You don't know who they're going to.
Yeah, can't defend them. With Hurts running the ball, they were running right to Parsons. They didn't care where he was. Stuck it right to him.
Love it.
Well, they're watching
Now, the only
film.
thing about this game, I want to throw this in there, is what I don't understand is not sure why the Eagles went for 2 instead of the 1. Because being up by 10 points versus 9 is the difference. Because if Dallas kicked that field goal, and let's say they did a onside kick and went down, they win by 1. The Eagles, say, hey, you're up by 10, they have to score at least a touchdown and a field goal just to tie it.
Totally agree.
So I don't understand why.
A lot of the
I get the penalty to
It's
go with the 1, but
it's the analytics.
I don't agree with it. Like, I know we're not to like go a little off, but to go a little off topic here. Brandon Staley did that again last night with the 4th down call, and it's like you're looking at him and you're just like, yo, at some point, you have to go with feel of the game and your common sense over analytics.
If they lost that game, it probably would have been
It would have been because of that, and
Just
that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm
They
saying.
got a nice little break there at the end, but that was you got to have some touch.
Last year, I was saying with Brandon Staley, like you're doing boneheaded things that don't need to be there, and it's going to cost a coach their job.
And that's a funny
Sooner or
thing
later.
we were saying about that game. Not to go into that, but we were saying like it could come down to a dumb coaching move, and it turns out it came down to a dumbass turnover at the end.
Yeah.
A freak accident. But like when he did that and failed, that was the first thought was, oh man,
Like Jesus, dude, what are you doing?
Just take what you can get.
Yeah.
Take the points. You're not scoring all game.
Exactly.
But the Philadelphia Eagles don't seem to have that problem as much. And they're definitely ballsy. I mean, Nick Sirianni running off the field, like,
I love him.
you guys saw. I mean, he said, that's game, fuck you, to the sideline. Like, this guy is a true Philadelphian.
Absolutely.
Everyone thought maybe he was a cornball at the beginning, but, like, how can you not love this guy?
He's being himself.
How
And
about
that's-
them Eagles going into the locker room? I mean,
He's being
I
himself.
love this guy,
and that's why
great.
the whole team. That's why the team responds to him because he's not putting on an act in the locker room. Even if you think he's corny, he's being him.
we were
And
worried about
and-
that flower
It's more
speech, right?
respect-
And
It's more respectful.
people like that, especially when you're a grown man and you're not playing for like books and tuition.
Yep.
You're paying to send your kids to private school
Yep.
and for Rolls Royces and shit like that. It's a lot different when you could really look at somebody and you're saying, I trust you, I believe in you because you're authentic.
Exactly.
And we were worried
Those
about
fans,
that flower speech.
by acting like that or being himself, the fans are behind him.
See that flower speech?
They're 13-4 since that.
Everybody looked at that flower speech, including me, because I remember sitting right where you
Yeah,
guys
we
were
were
saying.
like,
I'm like, what are you
football-
doing?
I was
Yeah.
getting
players.
Talk about flowers. What's
I was
that?
concerned.
But now looking back on it,
Let's talk
that was the
about
way
flowers.
that he related to his guys,
13
Talk about a
Four
plant with
since.
fucking flowers
Something's
and water and
working.
shit.
and they went crazy since. So
Guess what, man?
way
Those
to
roots
go.
are coming out.
Yeah, sheesh.
Got the foundation now.
Man, so the Philadelphia Eagles are looking pretty unstoppable right now. And I mean, what, they got the Steelers coming out of the bye? Man, wow. I guess suddenly things are looking whew.
It's gonna be a
So-
good game.
Before we go back to the Eagles, we got to move over to the Cowboys a little bit. This is the first time, okay, that Cooper Rush turned the football over. Cooper Rush had his worst game, of course, at the worst time for him because Dak Prescott is arguably going to be back this week. 3 turnovers. So there's a faction of people that still think Cooper Rush should start. I'm asking the table right now, Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott, and tell me why. Don't just say, I know it's easy to say just because he's better, but give me a little more than that. A little bit more if you can.
I don't even think it's a question, to be honest. Cooper Rush's ceiling. When he wins games, he's completing 10 passes and throwing for 110 yards and relying on the defense to get turnovers, stops, and force the offense into bad shit. You need an offense that can score. Cooper Rush is not scaring anyone.
No.
And it's legitimately, the drop-off in talent is so significant that I can't even believe that there are professional analysts on TV and legitimate people on the internet saying that this is a quarterback.
Cowboys faithful, too.
That's what I mean. It's embarrassing.
Your $40 million man is waiting to come back.
Root for Cooper Rush. Be happy that he kept you afloat and kept your season alive. Yep. But understand that Dak's your guy. And I don't understand how somebody looks at that situation. What happened to the Dallas last night with Cooper Rush on Sunday night was the best thing that could have happened to them, because it put it all to bed, and now Dak can come back and bring their season along. And they'll probably win 11 or 12 games because the rest of their season schedule is pretty simple.
Because offensively, they were
100% agree.
Yeah. Theories.
100% agree with Mike. Everything he just said, honestly. I mean, he wasn't wrong in anything he said. The difference between Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott is Cooper Rush is a game manager. Dak Prescott's a playmaker, right? And also another point is you paid Dak all that money. So, you cannot go away from him. He is your franchise guy. You anointed him that big contract because he was your guy. Right. You cannot abandon him after that, because now you're stuck with him. Look what they did with Zeke. They overpaid him. Now they're stuck with him. So it is what it is. So for them to even consider Cooper Rush would be dumb, and on their end, it would be suicide. Honestly,
big stir.
So
definitely,
that's really the big point for me. Other than that, Cooper Rush did his job. Like Paul's alluded to.
What more can you ask for?
And he went 4-1, I believe, right? Correct. He went 4-1, and now Dak's coming back. You got your guys back, and Gallup's starting to get a little bit healthier. So who knows? I mean, Dallas is going to be in good hands with Dak more than Cooper Rush, because he's more of a game manager. But I totally agree with Paul's there.
So my whole thing is last year when Dak lost in the playoffs, then he plays Tampa Bay, laid an egg, 19-3. Then all of a sudden, this guy Cooper Rush comes in. He won a game last year, wins 4 in a row. All of a sudden, everybody's like, Cooper Rush is like the guy, And I said to these cow puke freaking fans, I I'm looking at you right now. I said, the second that fucking guy loses that game to the Eagles, Dak's coming back. Geez, what do you know? The Eagles beat him, Dak's coming back. Dak is the franchise guy. Yeah, I mean,
period.
He overpaid. Cooper Rush, not a bad value, though, for a backup guy, right? He won 4 games.
Oh, my God, yeah. We were sitting here at this table.
He saved your freaking season.
Yeah.
Now you're going to throw him under the bus?
We were sitting here at this table, and I remember it was me, most of all, saying, they have to make a trade.
Yeah, then I hear the Cow Puke fans going.
That was me pounding the table.
Then I hear the Cow Puke fans going like this.
Yeah.
Oh, the Eagles lost to a backup quarterback. Oh, really? I guess you knew that Hurts is going 6-0? Get the fuck out of here, man. We beat you, man. To beat a team, you got to beat the team. We beat the team. It's the cow.
I don't really do that. You don't have
the
to
cockroach fucking fans, man. Where you at? Now all of a sudden you're not big and bad. Oh, we lost.
They got nothing to say.
The Eagles lost to a backup quarterback. No, we lost to the Cow Pukes. That's who we lost to. He's not the team, man. All I heard all fucking week was the Cowboys fucking defense and the Eagles offense.
All week.
Micah Parsons. Well, guess who we got? Slay, C.J. Johnson. We brought the heat, baby. We got Davis.
They were
brought it, man.
And Bradbury, who will be here next year because Bradbury's getting himself a nice contract.
Exactly.
Man, I hope they could keep everybody on that unit.
Exactly.
It's been unbelievable. And yeah, the Eagles defense, I mean, we didn't even go there, but they made Cooper Rush look like what he is.
Guys, what about Jordan Davis? I mean, that guy is
he's a beast.
Fucking beast.
Well,
as Tom would say,
you know how I feel.
Unit. He really is a unit. He's a load.
You know how I feel about that.
I noticed that when he's not in there, he's not in there. They get yards.
That was my guy.
He gets yards when he's not in there. Any team gets yards. because all of a sudden he's out. Zeke Elliott was going up the middle.
Yeah.
He read this
Put him
stat.
in the middle.
That
He's
was
going
ago.
nowhere.
Well, Zeke had a good game. Honestly.
He did.
He actually played. He played really
So
well. I gotta
Pollard.
give him that. I'll hang on. hats off to
6.2
him.
yards
Yeah,
per carry from
absolutely.
Zeke.
Yeah,
Pollard, I mean, 4 yards
Sanders
per
had a
carry
good
there,
game too.
you did.
Sanders, you say?
Sanders.
How do you feel about Miles Sanders? I mean, look, I'm going to ask the other side of the table.
Contract year, man.
I'm going to ask the other side because they didn't like him going into the year.
Oh, I know.
But I do actually want to know the update there. You like him?
I like him. I don't think they're going to sign him
I agree.
long term.
I don't know.
I don't think they are.
I
You might be
actually
able to
think
get
they
him
are.
to a friendly
think they are.
contract, though. That's the thing.
I think they are.
That might be a
'cause
think they
team-friendly
are?
deal.
I do, because I don't think
That's
the market is going to be. I don't think the market for him is going to be big enough to where the money differential is going to be that off. And I think that he likes it here. I think Jalen Hurts is a leader, and I think that things and Nick Sirianni, they look like a family on that sideline. And I think that stuff will matter when it comes down to a few $1 million.
I also just think that there's teams so wary of giving out big running back money right now.
That's that
And that's
too,
like,
yeah.
Because I know they're going to sign Hurts. That's
yeah,
what it looks like.
they're going to have to.
Oh hell yeah.
He's going to be able to command 40 mil easy right now.
He's getting the bag.
He's easily, yeah.
100%.
I mean, he's exceeding expectations for sure. He's not only winning games, but now he looks like a legitimate quarterback. Now there's some moments where
That's
you're
why
like,
I think that Sanders is not going to get signed because it hurts. But
yeah, we'll have to see.
That's a good
'cause
point, though.
That's the thing. I mean, if it comes down to like Sanders
honestly
and
didn't think about
Bradbury, I'm going Bradbury.
I didn't think
Oh,
about that.
absolutely.
I didn't think about
yeah.
what you just said.
Which
I
one?
never thought about that. Like, they could possibly bring back Sanders because the money isn't going to be as, rich for the open market. So
I just don't think
there's
he-
going
I
to be
don't-
open
there's other
of
guys,
opportunity
too,
there. There's going
on
to
the
be window of
market.
opportunities for him to bring him back. But I mean, look, my take on Miles Sanders, he's middle of the pack, bro. Like, he's just a middle of the pack running back. He does his job. He does it. He's been playing really, really well, but he's just a middle of the pack running back.
He looks really, really good this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's middle of the pack.
Him and Gainwell
I
and
think
Boston
he's top
Scott.
12.
I don't know. I can't go that high.
But I do think that it's still worthwhile to entertain maybe bringing in a bruiser just for like playoff scenario, having that short yardage guy.
Like
Because
Garrett
even though
Blount.
it's working for him right now, there's some players out there on the market they can go out and get.
They should get Melvin Gordon.
I mean, yeah, maybe that's what it, maybe that's what it takes.
yeah.
There's guys like Damian Harris on the market next year. Like there's going to be a bunch of running backs out there, and then there's going to be draftable running backs. So like, it's a pretty deep market, and it's an undervalued position.
Yep.
There is a ton of running backs out there
There's a
next
lot
year.
of 'em, man.
Yeah, I know. I saw the free agent list. It was crazy.
Bring in Lat Pasillo.
But now he's in Denver now.
He had some juice though. I'll give him that. He had some juice yesterday. He's like
Very
the
good.
only positive thing in that offense.
I know. He actually did. He really did.
But
Anyway,
that whole situation is just a mess.
Yeah.
I honestly
I'm
don't even wanna
disgusted.
go
Do you
there.
want our thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Go to TikTok.
Yeah, go to TikTok right
Yeah.
now.
disgusted.
Blowing up.
Facts.
Anyway. All right, so now we got some facts or cap, and then we're going to move on because we got a lot to cover, all right? And we don't have to go too deep here, but facts or cap, all right? The Dallas Cowboys are pretenders.
Cat, but they're not contenders. They're not a Super Bowl threat. They're
Playoff team.
They're a,
Is that what you're trying to say?
They're a good
or
team.
fringe playoff team?
Yeah, they're a good team that can probably make the playoffs because the NFC is weak.
Okay. Theories.
I'm with you. Their defense is what separates them from other bad teams in terms of offenses. Their defense is they could win games based on their defense. They could score 20 points and still win football games. So when you have that recipe, you're always in a fight. So for me, I'll agree with that.
GodFavre.
Yeah, contenders.
So you're saying cap as well.
Yeah.
They're not pretenders.
Yeah, they're not as good as last year, obviously. But I think they're going to be competing. It's going to be close with the Bucks, Packers, the Rams.
It's crazy. And we're going there in a
Wild
minute.
cards.
Don't worry.
And you know what? Those Giants are sneaky, man. 5-1. They're
Right.
surprising a lot of teams. I mean, they could push the Cowboys out.
Cowboys currently holding that 6th seed. The Giants are the 5th seed right now. If the season ended today, I am also saying cap. I think right now, I was just saying this. I think it might have been you, Pauls. I don't know if I can distinctively say who the second best team is in the NFC. It's like Eagles, and then
everybody
everyone's
else.
a big drop off. It's like so the Cowboys happen to be in that area where they have like a recipe they might be able to win some games with, and also the schedule, like Nick was saying. I think right now they would probably be a wild card for me. The NFC sucks.
Badly.
The NFC sucks. But that's not to discredit the Eagles. The Eagles are taking care of business. They're beating the winning teams too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vikings are 5-1, right?
That
The
scares me.
Eagles smoked them.
I'll
you
be
know?
honest though, as an Eagles fan, that would scare me because there's always going to be a team that's going to get hot in the end that you do not want to play. Right now, it's only week 6. There are still 11 more weeks of football.
Yeah.
So a lot can be determined from now till then. So you don't know who's going to be hot in the end. You don't know who's going to be cold. I mean, look, it's just it looks like the Eagles are running away with this, right? I mean, of course. But there's always going to be that one team that just catches fire at the right time. And,
So true, Nick.
You know, they're going to be scary to play in the playoffs.
And that's not even counting the fact they're going into a bye week. You don't want to lose momentum coming out of the
Exactly.
bye.
Right.
You don't want to take a team like the Steelers not serious.
Yeah, and
You
there's
saw
always
what
a
happened this
team.
week,
There's always
right?
a team in the beginning of the year. Could be the Giants 5-1.
Yeah.
And they get cold.
There you go.
You just don't know.
So
off the top of your head, though, what is one team that you guys think would be the team?
the team to get hot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have one in mind. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with the Niners. 49ers. Their defense is very good.
Their defense is
And they
so
got loaded
good.
talent on offense.
Niners, I'm going to say Vikings.
Okay.
To get hot.
They have the #1 point differential in the last 4 minutes of games right now. They were 32nd last year.
That's one good
Closing
stat
it.
you could say about them. Besides winning.
Situational football.
Yeah.
That
It
shit
matters.
wins.
It matters.
Coaching matters.
See, that's tough for me. Like, I would honestly be between the Bucs and Packers because the Bucs have already done this before, like, where they start season slow
And they turn it up.
and they just tear it up when it hits,
Yep.
you know,
November.
almost playoff
Yeah.
time. I mean, I could say the same about the Packers too. They got blown out week 1 last year, and I actually, I know we're going there, but I truly believe that they will make an upgrade to the receiving room finally. But also, keep in mind, Brady and Rodgers, I don't think can play any worse. I think they will be much better because they're them. Like,
Yeah.
like that's, you know, I expect that out of them.
What about
Anyway,
you?
I'm
What
going
about
to say
you?
Bucks.
yeah.
Bucks.
Can't count
Bucks,
Tom Brady.
Bucks, Vikings, Niners. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's a factor. Big time.
But I have no confidence in any team outside the Eagles in the NFC right now.
I mean,
crazy.
the Vikings are 5-1 though. Quietly 5-1. Yeah, that quiet. That team's quiet.
Who do you think's
bro.
a better
I
team?
got a loud stat.
Who's
for
the better
you.
team,
Hold
the
on.
Vikings or the Giants? Right now.
I'll go to Vikings. I'm not a believer
Right
in the
now.
Giants. I think the Giants are a mirage.
Vikings,
Vikings
right?
are better, but I
Okay.
think the Giants are playing better football right now. That doesn't mean I think they're a better team. I got a stat though for you. The Vikings' strength of victory is 379. That's going to catch up to them when they start playing some good teams. Now, okay, facts or cap? The Eagles are the best team in the NFC,
Facts, because they're tied with the Bills.
and this honestly seems kind of easy, right? I'm going to just say facts because I basically just said that.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the NFC?
Them and the Bills are 1A and 1B.
I think you were talking about the NFC, right?
NFC, yep.
Yeah, the
Oh,
NFC
NFC.
first.
I'm sorry.
NFC first.
Yeah, they're the best
fact.
team in the NFC.
That's a fact.
Oh, well,
By a
that-
wide
More
margin.
back.
Yeah.
All right. Facts or cap? Eagles are the best team in the NFL.
They are 1A and 1B with the Bills.
There you go. So that's like half facts?
Yeah.
Is that acceptable?
It's
okay,
fact.
if you had to pick one, who you picking?
The Bills.
Okay.
I'm going
Cap
Bills.
for you.
I'm going to go Bills.
Cap for Nick.
I'm going to say it's a tie.
I just tried to
And-
do that.
It's a tie because I'll tell you how. The Bills are 5-1, but look where they were last year. You have to give them the leg up. Yeah, the Eagles are 6-0, but they weren't there last year. I think it's even. I would love to see that game.
I know.
But they also got playoff
But-
experience, the Eagles, last year.
Yeah.
Even though it was
Yeah,
one
we'll see.
game, even though it looked like shit,
It
they
matters.
still got
Yeah.
the experience.
It matters.
Experience matters.
The Bills
Absolutely.
didn't get
And
to the
especially that
championship. They got to the
environment.
second
Yes.
round, but
Hell yeah.
they the Bills are only up one game. But I just think the Bills, Josh Allen,
Beast.
oh my God.
Certified beast. He's the best.
Yeah, they're-
he's the best player in the NFL
If
right
you were
now.
to say
They're
Jalen
awesome.
Hurts or Josh
That's not
Allen,
cap.
you're going to say Josh Allen.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Right now.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Josh Allen's the best player in the NFL right now.
Yeah. But the Eagles got a great secondary, great offensive line.
I'm not even going to argue it.
It's a tie. I mean,
I'm not going to argue it.
I can't really. You have to flip a coin and just decide it. I mean, go either way.
Yeah, they're back on track now too. They had a couple of games where they're like, Now the Bills. I mean, we'll get there shortly. But I'm saying, Cap. I think the Bills and the Chiefs are better, but the Eagles are very close right now. They're getting close. Seats getting warm. Let's just put it that way. Like they're not a distant third. Is what I'm trying to say.
Just out of curiosity, what makes the Chiefs better than the Eagles right now in your opinion?
Quarterback, coaching,
nothing. I think the Eagles are better than
also.
I do too.
Also, experience, and their defense is very underrated. They turn the football over a lot too, and you've already seen the offense really isn't held back right now. They're not. I think the one thing though that could potentially make the Eagles better than the other two, and this is where I was going with this. The Eagles are the team that I would trust to run the football in the playoffs, and they can run the football better than those two teams, which could matter in a Super Bowl matchup. That's where the Eagles would really set themselves apart. That matters.
If the Eagles played the Chiefs, we would lock them the fuck up on defense. And I mean lock them the fuck up. Juju Smith-Schuster and McCole Hardman are not getting open on James Bradbury and Darius
They got
Slay.
Travis Kelce, dog.
That's perfectly
and also
fine.
they got a scheme that
Kelce, I ain't
Listen,
gonna sit here.
I get that.
I hear your point,
bro.
We have enough to hold them.
Mike, you know what would be the biggest recipe to beat a team like the Chiefs or Bills?
We got AJ Brown. Bro.
Is simply the
got
fact
A.J.
that the
Brown.
Eagles can keep the ball out of the hands
Correct.
of those offenses.
We have the formula to do
That's
it.
why.
Correct.
And the defense would be fresh, therefore making them more likely to shut down anyone on the opposing end. Because the Eagles' corners can shut down anybody. Legitimately.
We shut down
They can
Justin
shut down
Jefferson.
the Bills receivers too.
We shut down Justin Jefferson.
In their best game. You know?
Yep.
All right.
Totally agree.
We got to move on. And this one's juicy, guys. All right. Philly Phil, you want to give us some change? The week of the upsets.
Oh, man.
Upsets galore. And I mean, we're talking like, these are like 6-point favorites, okay? Major upsets. Major on NFL Sunday. All right. There were 4 of them in particular that this conversation's about. And I'm going to ask you guys a question, okay? First one was the Falcons winning by 14 over the 49ers. They dominated, okay? The Steelers, half a game with Kenny Pickett, half a game with Mitch Trubisky, beating the Bucs. What?
Yeah.
I can't ever bet these two teams. Get there in a minute. The Jets, a 17-point victory over the Packers in Lambeau.
Wow.
Controlled them. Caution that one, too. All right. Ravens, Giants. The Giants 5-1. The Giants come back in the fourth quarter.
Regular shit.
2 minutes left in the game and beat the Ravens. More fourth quarter woes for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's now see when it happens this many times. Now I'm gonna be on the same boat as you guys. I'm a little worried about that too, Mr. Raven fourth quarters. It's weird. And now it's just like all right, what the fuck's going on in the fourth quarter?
I don't get it.
Point is, winning football is winning at the end of the game. All right, 4 major upsets. I want to know, and I'm sure we'll talk about all these to some degree, but which one was the most stunning to you? Because they were all insane. They were insane.
I'll go with the Bucs and over the Steelers. I mean,
You taking a shot at your son already?
I'm sorry.
No, you better hold your ground because he'll come after you.
I'm bottom line.
He always.
That's because Tom Brady. But Tom Brady looks so upset on that sideline, yelling at his offensive line. Yeah, but it's the first time I saw Brady really looking like his age, man. I'll tell you how it is. Like he was throwing the ball low. He was off. He was really off.
He was partying.
All right, Nick. I'm gonna get your boxing gloves from under the table.
He's got a lot of personal issues going on.
You just went after his age.
But
now,
the
that's
Falcons-
the first mistake you made.
The Falcons and the Niners, that's a divisional game. Yeah, that was surprising. But Mariota, he just outplayed, the 49ers quarterback, Garoppolo. So that to me wasn't so much of an upset just because it's a divisional game. The Jets right now they're They're just playing really good defense, and their offense is they're more like a balanced team.
Brees Hall.
Yeah, the Jets,
Bullish.
but the win by 17 was it?
Oh yeah, 17.
They
They
just
controlled the whole
outplayed.
game.
Yeah, they just played really
They
well.
controlled it.
And the Giants and the Ravens, I knew the Giants were going to win. I think just because the Ravens can't pull out that fourth quarter stuff, that was regular shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Regular.
So, I mean, that's my take on it. I think Bucks and the Steelers, that's, to me, the biggest upset.
So there you go. GodFavre ranked them for us, guys.
Yeah.
Who wants to take over next? Most stunning of the four. Most stunning.
So initially I was going to say the Jets over the Packers, but I don't know if the Jets are good or not. I
Fair
genuinely
point.
don't know.
They're 4-2.
So-
they would be a playoff team
Right
if
now.
the season ended today.
They're surprised.
They are
Yeah.
literally the 6th seed
Yeah.
in the
Surprised.
AFC.
So I am actually also going with the Bucks and the Steelers because I know the Steelers are bad. The only thing, when we were talking about this on Thursday, and I said when they got humiliated like that, I said Mike Tomlin is a resilient type of coach. I don't think they will come back and lay an egg because they legitimately could have lost to the Bills by 60.
I was worried about that too.
But
I still didn't do it.
My issue with the Buccaneers right now is I know Tom Brady's going through some personal things.
Yeah.
He hasn't looked sharp.
Right.
He's had one really good game, and it was against the Chiefs in the second half. My issue with the Buccaneers that nobody is talking about is, are we ever going to mention Todd Bowles and the scheme? Because their offense just looks nothing like it did last year.
Well, that would be
Are
Leftwich.
you talking the offense? You're talking
Byron Leftwich.
So Leftwich.
Well, I mean,
Bowles oversees it, but he's the defensive game
Yeah.
planner.
well then, I mean, just the head
It's
coaching
Leftwich.
change. With Bruce Arians, that offense looked fine. I mean, if it's Byron Leftwich and the offense looks like that, then I don't want to hear anybody in the media talking about he needs to be a head coach. Because right now he doesn't even look like he could be a quarterback coach. Because I don't know what that offense is doing. They just can't move the ball. And I get it that Tom Brady is missing throws here and there, but every time Tom Brady misses a throw, it's going to get over exaggerated because he's 45. And that's not the issue. They can't move the ball in sync. When their plays happen, they're few and far between. Against the Saints, it was the bomb to Perryman. When it's a bomb to Mike Evans. Is Brady an issue? Yeah, a little bit. But he's not the actual problem. The actual problem is the scheme is not working. And that is something.
Can I piggyback off of this? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what Nick's going to answer, but I know what I'm going to answer. I'm going to say the same game. Okay, Bucs Steelers. The Bucs cannot run the football. I keep coming back to this. They can't run the fucking football at all, and so therefore Brady is throwing the football an astronomical amount. And they've not been in sync yet. So you're asking a lot out of a passing game that is not in sync. The weapons have not been in too many games together so far. The offensive line is strung out right now.
Yep.
They are struggling, okay?
Mightily.
You need to find a way to take the edge off of these guys, including Brady right now. Including Brady. He's not been sharp, as you said. And the defense has been up and down, most of the time pretty good. But otherwise, the whole team is just inconsistent.
Yep.
They're inconsistent.
They're lacking head coaching leadership.
And part of that, you can definitely put it on the coaching staff. But I will say this before I pass to Nick. The common theme with 3 of the teams you just mentioned, and I'm not saying that the Ravens, because the Ravens have not had offensive issues so far. The common theme with the 49ers, the Buccaneers, the Packers is not just bad quarterback play. That's part of it to a degree. The offenses as a whole cannot move the football. Scoring is down this year.
Can't move the
But
chains.
like those 3 teams in particular, these offenses cannot consistently move the football. I'm baffled, especially with the Bucs and Packers.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, we know about the Packers wide receiver room, but to this extent, with the Bucs and the Packers not being able to move the football, this is the strength. The strength is having these quarterbacks. I'm baffled right now. They got to go back to the drawing board because they're not going to win a lot of games if these offenses can't get it together.
Yeah.
And that's the whole unit. That's not just the quarterback. The quarterback would help.
Yeah.
Jimmy, no one even talks about him because Jimmy's been playing like shit.
Bad. He's been playing like shit.
And he's been masked by a phenomenal defense.
Yes.
But obviously everyone's going to talk about Brady and Rodgers. That's just the theme here. And now I have to pass it off to theories, and I honestly don't know what his answer. He might surprise me and say Bucks.
It is the Bucks. And
there you go.
Honestly, I mean, you can't lose to the Steelers. The Steelers are a bad football team. They showed it last week when they got blown out by 35 points. And you're right, Mike. Their inability to run the football is exactly what is killing them. When you're getting 3 yards a carry against the Steelers, you're setting yourself up for long third downs, second downs. You need to get ahead of the chains.
And it's
that is the
predictable,
biggest
right, Nick?
problem. It's the biggest problem for them. And the reason, and also they need to start going a little bit more deeper, because then teams are gonna respect the pass a lot more, which is gonna open up a little bit in the running lane, in the running game. But their offensive line is not being able to block. They just cannot give Brady time. He's being hit, and he's getting hit at a rate it's crazy.
Yeah,
and he's 45 years old. You got to protect him at all costs. When you protect him, he will deliver the football and he will deliver it on time. But when he's getting hit and you can't run the football, it's a bad blend. It's not going to work. So when you're getting and they're just so predictable on first downs. Every first down, it's a run. Here goes 1 yard. Here goes 2 yards. Now you're at 2nd and 8. Then it's incomplete. Now you're at 3rd and 8. So what are you going to do? You're predictable to pass. So obviously teams are playing you differently because they're not going back to that offense that made them successful. Going down the field, taking the shot. Brady still has the arm.
Absolutely.
I still see some throws where I'm like, holy fuck! Like
he's not going to have the time right now,
right?
And they can't keep defenses in check because they can't run the football.
That's exactly
and
right.
they're not able to gain chunk yardage for that reason. It's just, to me, the Buccaneers, their issue is, all right, how do you fix this? They're going to have to make an offensive line trade.
I'll tell you what.
I'd be going speed dial to the Philadelphia Eagles right now, and I'd be plucking off everybody off their reserve.
And look, I know the Bucks gave up a lot of big 3rd and longs in that game towards the end, which is really inexcusable.
Yeah.
But they only gave up 20 points. Like, the Bucks should have scored more than 20 points against the Steelers.
That's a good point.
So I'm not going to sit here and cap and say Brady's not at fault. Like, he definitely is a part of the problem.
I'm happy you say that.
And he's not playing like Brady, but I don't think he's playing as poorly as everybody thinks.
He's playing capable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, like he's playing capable enough to beat the Steelers.
I'll tell you what. You know who he's missing? The guy that's standing right behind him.
Oh, yes.
Well,
That guy
as a blocker,
Yes.
That's huge.
As a
I knew
blocker.
that was going to be bad.
As a blocker, which is underrated. He's like Gronk is the greatest tight end of all time because his ability to do both. Catch passes and dominate the line of scrimmage. That's why he's the best of all time. So I do agree with that. But also the Bucks are struggling on short yardage. They cannot get a fucking yard to save their life. It's 3rd and 1, and then they're getting stopped. They're getting stopped. 4th and 1, getting stopped. 3rd and 2, getting stopped. You got to be able to move the chains. You got Leonard Fournette. The guy's a bull. So I don't understand why they're struggling. Again, it just comes down to execution. They're not executing. They're not on the same page. So yeah, my answer is the Bucks all the way. They have been playing really bad.
Yeah,
the
Steelers defense, they got to Brady early, and they frustrated Brady. And they showed it right on public television. Brady was frustrated. The Steelers knew that stuff. They brought it to him.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, they're not. It's the offensive line. We're gonna bring the heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anytime an athlete shows emotion in a negative way, other team's got you, man. It's like blood and water, and the sharks are around you.
And what's
They
crazy,
sense blood. They're gonna come at you.
What's crazy is the Steelers had a depleted secondary.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans had 4 targets. Bro,
That's a
Mike
really
Evans
crazy
is your
stat.
guy. Mike Evans is the guy that makes a big play when you need it the most. So the fact that he was negated to 4 targets is honestly a shock to me, and it led to a loss against the Steelers. You've got to give your playmakers the opportunity to get the football in their hands. They make the plays. Mike Evans is a star for a reason. He's a future Hall of Famer, and when you give him only 4 targets, you're not giving your offense the ability to maximize their potential.
So there you have it. The Buccaneers, man. The Buccaneers lose to the Steelers. That is the most stunning upset according to all 4 of us at the table.
Big stinker.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that I just have a feeling, maybe it's a gut feel, that a couple of these teams we just mentioned are going to be mentioned in the next section. So should we proceed, or you want to chat it up about these teams?
I just want to have like a quick little side note. Like,
go ahead.
The Falcons are all right, man. They are a decent team.
They could be a 5-win team right now.
I mean, they are in every single fucking game. They're a 500 football team, and they've been in every single game. Hats off to them, man. Seriously.
Arthur Smith.
They are.
Jinx.
I
is a
loved him
stud
when he left
coach.
Tennessee, and I just Arthur Smith is a good coach. He's squeezing everything out of Mariota that's possible. And Mariota's not. It's not that he's not talented.
Oh, family.
Apologies. It's not that Mariota's not talented. It's not that, because he's playing well, and Arthur Smith has a scheme around him that's working. And not for nothing, but Mariota's not playing with stars either.
No,
he's playing
exactly.
with the same team that Matt Ryan was.
Why do you think?
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm giving you that. I
man?
know. I'm giving you that.
He
'cause
can
you said
play.
it.
Yeah, he can run. He can run with the football.
Exactly.
Like, he's
can run.
dangerous. He's dangerous at that. He can find a
savvy.
lane, and he can just
And
squeak right through
he's
it
that right
for
there-
15 yards.
And he got a
That's how
touchdown,
they
I think,
beat
right?
the 49ers defense. I know they had some injuries, but the 49ers have not dealt with a team with a running quarterback like that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he exposed them a little bit. That's how you beat them. And what is that? What is the point of me mentioning that? The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Coming.
I mean, guys, let's
Pause.
be real here. Is there anything more deflating? Is there anything more deflating to a defense when the quarterback can scramble on a 3rd and 12 and get the first down?
No.
That is like absolutely
Backbreaker.
deflating. It's deflating for the defense. They got to play a more set of downs. They thought they were going to get off the field, give their offense a chance. Now they're back on the field because they gave up a 3rd and 12 to a quarterback on a QB run.
Yep.
That is deflating for teams.
Yep.
It is.
And I agree. I think the one other thing I wanted to say before we move on, I do think the Jets are legit. They're doing this with average, maybe even below average QB play.
I
The
would think
defense
that's
is playing well.
because he's not turning it over.
Right. And I mean, he's only going to get better. This is, what, a second game back? So they are able to move the football because they have an elite running back, who I am so happy they finally gave him his opportunity. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to have to pat myself on the back here. I literally overdrafted this guy and got laughed at. I took him like 2 rounds early.
Laugh now, cry later.
My team is 5-1 in that league right now.
Wow.
And I just got him in my lineup for the last 2 weeks.
I tried trading for him a couple
He's
weeks
so
ago.
good,
I know.
man.
That's tough.
I know.
Brees Hall is that dude, literally.
Wow.
But the Jets' defense, though, Robert Saleh's doing a phenomenal job. And the thing is, they have hit on so many defensive picks in the draft. Sauce Gardner, listen, if the season ended today, Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year will both be Jets. It would be Brees Hall and Sauce Gardner right now for me. Anybody?
No, I would agree too. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were. It was a question.
I'm with you. No,
Yeah,
Sauce
I'm
Gardner
here,
has
I'm
been
here.
awesome. He's a lockdown corner. He's legit.
It's unbelievable.
He's legit.
The cheesehead thing was funny too.
That was awesome. That was a perfect troll.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I love that
Ballsy.
energy, though. That's just not giving a fuck. That's just like saying, fuck you. We just came in your building and we just took your soul.
Exactly.
I love that shit. That's what the
amazing.
Jets need, though.
They
They
do.
needed that little grit on their team, but in a positive way. It's like a reinforcing way.
You know what they got, Nick?
They got passion.
They got that special sauce.
They got passion, bro.
I've been waiting to say that. All right, moving on, Philly Phil. Because I have a feeling a couple of these teams are coming up right now. Bunch of 3-3 teams that were contenders going into the season, like legitimate, considered Super Bowl contenders. There's a big list of them here. Or playoff contenders, however you want to phrase it. But there's a big list of 3-3 teams. And we're going to talk about who is the most in danger of missing the playoffs. I know it's early, but we can kind of take some clues here. I mean, 6 weeks is a third of the season, okay? So I'm going to name you the teams, and then I'm going to ask you the question one more time so the audience can hear it. 3-3 teams right now, contenders. 49ers, Bengals, Buccaneers, Packers, Rams, Ravens. All right? There's 6 teams right there, all 3-3 considered preseason contenders. Which is in the most danger of missing the playoffs this year? Who wants to start it off?
Wow.
It is.
Can't believe we're saying this. I know what you're going to say.
It's the Packers. They have 2 more games on their schedule that you can count as definitive wins. That's it. The Commanders and the Bears. Their schedule is difficult.
Oh, yeah. They got a
And,
first place schedule.
like, the 49ers, they're hurt. They're going to get their guys back. The Bengals, they make adjustments. They haven't allowed a touchdown in the second half of a game this entire season.
Interesting.
The Buccaneers, I trust Tom Brady all day, every day. I don't care who his head coach is.
Yeah.
That will get figured out. The Rams, their schedule's a little lighter, but because they were my second choice, but their schedule to me is a little bit lighter than the Packers, and I trust Sean McVay because I know what he's capable of. And the Ravens are just slipping up in the fourth quarter. Now that's bad football.
It's becoming more of a glaring issue.
And I said this last week when we were laughing when I said
excused it a little bit last week, and I'm here to backtrack today.
So we were laughing about it.
That's a problem now.
I kind of think the Ravens are mid, and it's just it is. They're blowing 10-point leads like it's and it's getting swept under the rug.
You can't win in the fourth quarter. You can't.
It's
in
a
football
problem.
games.
Correct.
Period.
And one thing that we didn't mention last year, Wink Martindale.
That's a big loss.
He knows all of Lamar Jackson's tricks, and now he's with the Giants. So
no shocker there with
Yeah.
who they just played this week, right?
correct.
It might have mattered there.
So for me, it's the Packers. And look, their offense is an issue. Aaron Jones can't get going. A.J. Dillon can't get going. Their wide receivers we knew were going to be a problem. Aaron Rodgers just kind of, I said this in the offseason. We were talking about the division and stuff like that. The formula for them to win, if you have Aaron Rodgers throw the ball 40 times, they're not going to win 6 games this year. They're not. They don't have the skill players at wide receiver to do it. That team doesn't do that. The biggest issue right now with the Packers is their defense.
Yeah, they've not been as good as they're supposed to be.
They've been a bottom 5 unit. They're ranked last in completion percentage, 24th in passer rating allowed, 29th in third down percentage, and 26th in takeaways. So if you combine that with a team that's struggling to score,
and
you don't have a recipe to win.
Mike, what was that stat that I was telling you about the play action last week? Why the Jets concerned me.
Yeah.
The Jets running the second most play action. The Packers are 31st team against play action.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the result, right? That wasn't the only reason. But the defense is definitely the most. Actually, you could argue the defense and the run game combined are the most stunning features of the Packers because they were supposed to be the stalwarts of the team this year. They can't run the football. They're not playing consistent defense right now.
One thing that
That's a problem.
I did jump on too, what I was saying in the beginning that I never bought into them was because in order to have a dominant run game, you need to have somebody on the outside that requires attention. And they don't have it. I mean, they have Lazard, though, however, has been a bright spot because Lazard looks great. But you can single Lazard, and he's not going to dominate you to the point where you need to double him. So it's just, for me, the Packers have a lot of issues. It's not just one thing for them, which I thought it was only going to be their offense, and it's not.
Well, part of it, too, and I'm going to pass it off after this. Part of it, too, is Aaron Rodgers himself is not playing well. The thing is, they were expecting, all right, we have the ultimate equalizer, and he's our quarterback. He's not playing well either, and that's a big issue. I mean, you would expect that he would raise the level of play of these players. In another sense, though, I'm going to say this. I don't have the Packers as the team that will miss the playoffs out of this group because there's just way too much talent on this roster. And I fully expect now, I think that they genuinely wanted to see if they could get through the season with this receiver group. It is now apparent that they cannot, and there's already been plenty of quotes in the media that they will be active in the trade market for a wide receiver. And I would be, hey, Carolina, you got DJ Moore, right?
Yep.
It took them long enough.
You want a third round? Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing. It's like they're fortunate it's early in the season. You can kind of nip it in the bud here. But now Aaron Rodgers needs the support, too, because he's not playing well. I'm going to go out. I'm going to make my guy happy. He's making some quotes right now about Matt LaFleur, basically.
That was a great interview, though.
That was crazy.
Because Matt LaFleur also is an issue right now. I mean, we bash Hackett. I know. He deserves it. He's fucking horrible.
Still the worst coach in the league.
Interesting, though, when he leaves, the Packers' offense also looks like it's in shambles in terms of game planning.
I said LaFleur was dog shit.
You did.
27th ranked coordinator, and you hired him to run your offense. Dog shit.
I think he probably jumped the gun and should have gotten an offensive coordinator. He's a great head coach. But that's the thing, though. It is interesting. It's you
weird.
See what happens. Like
It does.
I know it doesn't make sense because Hackett's so horrible right now. But, like, look at what happened to the Packers since then.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers loved them.
Who you got?
This is easy to me. It's the Bengals. The Bengals are in some serious trouble. If they don't go 6-3 in the next 3 games, they're done. Their last 7 games, they play the Titans, they play the Chiefs, they play the Browns with Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying he's going to light the world on fire, but he's an upgrade of what they have. And they're going to play the Bucks, they're going to play the Patriots, they're going to play the Bills, and they're going to play the Ravens. Those teams, I expect 4 of those teams in the end of the season to be playing their best ball. So they're going to be running into some really good teams towards the end, and that is going to catch them later in the season. They are in deep shit. I see at least 5 more losses. They already have 3. They're in trouble.
They do have a hard schedule.
They are in extreme
That's a
trouble.
great point,
they have
Nick.
to be 6-3 after week 9. They have to.
They will. They will, absolutely.
Maybe, but you see in the NFL, it's week to week.
It
You
is.
don't know who can get upset. Like, I think the Falcons have a chance to beat the Bengals this weekend. Will it happen? Maybe not, but I think they have a chance any given Sunday. We saw the Steelers beating the fucking Bucks.
Yeah, you're
You know,
right.
You see the Jets beating the Packers
Fair.
in Lambeau. Like,
Atlanta's
we
playing
just
good
talked
football,
about this.
too.
Yeah, they're playing good football. So, like, I see the Bengals as big time potential to completely miss the postseason.
You know what's interesting too, Nick? I actually like putting this together. I added them last second. I'm not even gonna lie to you, the Bengals. I really didn't think anyone here would select them, but you actually kind of made a convincing argument there.
Well, I had them
Because
in as a 3rd seed.
They've been playing
but-
so much better lately, and it's. I'm genuinely surprised.
Well, I'm not
But you
convinced.
make a good argument though.
I'm
That's
not
the thing.
convinced because if T. Higgins is not healthy, this offense is going to struggle. They need T. Higgins
And Joe Mixon still hasn't got it
because
together
I
yet.
feel like teams are
don't
really
think he's
starting to really key on Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins takes that weight off of him because he's a dynamic receiver. He's a beast. Like T. Higgins is really slept on. He's a top 15 receiver in this league.
He's
No
amazing.
question. I mean, but if he's out, then you got to lean on Jamar Chase. And if they double him, who else you got? You got Joe Mixon. You got Hayden Hurst. I mean, you got Tyler Boyd. Yeah, he's good, but he's a 3rd receiver. If he's your 3rd receiver, you are in good shape. So that's the biggest thing for me. And their offensive line is still patchwork.
It still hasn't fully gelled yet.
Yeah.
And maybe it will.
Maybe.
But it's not
over
coming
there.
together the way
Right.
it should have,
Right.
according to most.
It's just a plateau.
But that's the thing about offensive line. When you change it up a lot, it takes time to gel. And honestly, the defense, you could argue, has been the strength of the team, which is what the biggest question was. They've been pretty damn good. GodFavre, which 3-3 preseason contender is in danger of missing the playoffs?
Hear all the arguments. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
That's where I was going, but I'll let you go first.
Interesting.
Yep.
So the Rams,
I had them too.
Super Bowl champions, right? But they are just like, where are they down? Like 3rd or 4th offensive lineman in each position.
We're playing
They're just getting
offensive
eaten
line.
alive. Stafford just can't like release the ball when he can. There's no protection. They can't run the ball. The offensive line's terrible. He's forced to throw it, but he's getting sacked all the time. They did beat the 49ers, Cowboys. No, they lost to. Sorry.
They lost
49ers,
to
Cowboys, and Bills,
Yep.
which are good teams, and they beaten some bad teams, Falcons, Cardinals, and Panthers. I mean, their schedule is pretty tough. I'm looking at it.
They almost blew
Yeah, I
that
mean,
Falcons game too. For
They
what it's worth.
don't
Yeah.
have
That's true.
legitimately. There's not one easy out on the
They
schedule.
almost do.
the rest
I
of the
think they're
way.
going to lose to the 49ers next week, or was it following week? Then they got the Bucks. Ooh.
Bucks
That's
in
tough.
Tampa,
Then they got
Arizona again, and they
the
split
Cardinals.
last
They got
year.
the Saints. They're in a pretty good
Chiefs
division.
in KC, Packers in Green
Yeah.
Bay,
I don't like
Chargers
the
in
Saints.
LA.
They got Chiefs.
The Saints is a miserable matchup for them
Yeah.
because of that defensive line.
Yeah.
And I'm
Eat
not
them
even
up.
on the Saints like that. That is a miserable matchup for them.
Yeah.
I think at this point, why I would pick the Rams. I'm going there with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm shocked. This is great.
I
I
see a mediocre team right now.
they lost it.
They're mediocre.
They're not
really
competitive.
And full
They just
strength,
really dropped off.
full strength offensive line was ass.
Yeah.
Now Joe Noteboom, who was their swing tackle last year, they paid him big money to move over to the left and replace Andrew Whitworth, which
Yeah.
that's big shoes to fill right there. And now he's out for the year. Matthew Stafford looks horrible. Okay? They can't run the football. So we're talking about all these teams that can't run the football, right? Offensive scoring is down. This team is yet another one. They truly struggle to score 20 points right now.
It looks hard.
And they can't, like, okay, they got Allen Robinson a little more involved, but the Panthers are right in this game for 3 quarters. This was a close ball game for 3 quarters of the game.
Yeah.
Against PJ Walker. Love him, by the way. To you, okay?
Facts.
I do like it.
But they were legitimately in this football game. That is a problem. That's a problem. Okay? The Cam Akers situation, horrible. But the biggest thing, what did I say here?
He gone.
I think it was a few weeks ago, and I said, this is the effects of winning the Super Bowl in addition to all the problems they have. But they are so top-heavy and have no depth this year. 0 depth. And the stars can only take you so far. And when one of your stars, being Matthew Stafford, is playing the way he's playing, and maybe he's still hurt too, I don't know. Unreliable, turnover machine. I mean, and your head coach, Mr. Offensive Guru, right? I mean, there were points last year when we were saying this same thing. I mean, I don't know how much stock to put into him right now, because he can't, Sean McVay can't. I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed.
Remember we were talking about off-season power rankings, and I switched and said that the Rams scared the shit out of me?
Yeah, I said that I was nervous about them.
Because they won. Matt Stafford got paid. He got his ring. Jalen Ramsey got his money. All these guys got their money. And I know
there's no money left either. They're talking about Beckham. How are you going to sign him?
They are the team. They are the one team that I believe that can go get Christian McCaffrey. And I feel like he would fit perfect there because they need another playmaker. You can't just throw to Cooper Kupp 75 times a game. They need somebody they could dump it off to out of the backfield and explode.
They would need that, actually.
That's how you take the pressure.
That is a good fit.
That's how you get the pressure off of Matthew Stafford.
Because he's a guy where you can at least get him involved in the passing game.
Correct.
And you don't have to worry so much about the running back position being what it is, or the offensive line getting blown the fuck up.
They would have to shut some salary.
But they don't have the money.
Yeah,
correct.
They'll find it.
I honestly don't know how they
figure
will.
it out.
I don't know how they would find it for this one because of his contract. I truly don't.
Yeah.
I mean, they could.
Do you think a swap of Cam Akers and Melvin Gordon helps them?
The Rams?
Yeah.
No, because Melvin Gordon's looked like shit this year. I'm not gonna lie, and I thought he would be a lot better than this. I thought last night, with my 2 eyes, that Latavius Murray looked more explosive.
He was on
and again, I like Melvin Gordon, so I don't know what the hell's going on, and that's not even factor in the fumbleitis. I don't know. I just don't. I don't see how, if Melvin Gordon can't run the football over there with that battered offensive line, how's he going to do it with the Rams? He needs space to run. He can't.
Unless
he's a guy that he needs to, A, get 20 touches, and B, he needs to be full steam ahead, and he can't right now. They're already through the line. Like, it's.
I agree with that.
How's he going to get? How's he going to get any traction?
I don't think it makes a factor.
Actually, Melvin Gordon would be a guy the Eagles should look at, if anybody, because they can run the football. Like, it's a good fit there. I don't know. I just don't see who it benefits, and Cam Akers too. Like,
well, they
both
both just. I was just saying it. I was just saying it in terms of they both seem unhappy with their head coach, and that could just be a quick swap and just get them both out of each other's hair. And there you go.
Well, I would think that Cam Akers are getting more upside. He's the younger player.
I feel like Cam Akers would have a lot more upside in Denver.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the trade itself will be a lopsided trade if they were to acquire Akers and get rid of Gordon.
Yeah.
Because of his age factor. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's how I see that trade.
Oh man, unbelievable. I mean,
I didn't like Sean McVay though. I think he's a very good coach.
I want to see how he responds to this one.
Bullshit. I mean, he won a ring. He's been to a Super Bowl before. He's been to 2 Super Bowls.
In 5 years.
He had a good playoffs.
He's had credibility.
Year.
He's got credibility. He's like he does get to the big game. So he's not a bad coach.
He had a good playoffs last year that kind of changed the narrative on him because the books were, I think the book on him, people weren't so sure. He had a good playoffs, though. I
feel like my only 2 issues with Sean McVay always were, I always feel like Sean McVay never gets criticized. He's like a golden boy that is exempt from criticism. That's number 1. And number 2, at the time in 2017, he was not a better coach than Doug Peterson. when we won the Super Bowl. And that's a fact, and I'll never get over that.
Agree with that too. Agreed. Are there any other teams you want to kind of touch on right here? Like, was there like a close second? I know, Mike, you had Rams and Packers together. The Rams were my clear number one, I'll be honest with you.
And other than that, to me, the Ravens.
I would say my second would be Packers.
The Ravens are scaring me a little bit because when you have meltdowns like that in 3 out of your 6 games,
yeah, well,
that's a legitimate issue.
They got to
Tell you
correct
what,
that real fast.
The Commanders just named Heineke as their starter.
Passing.
In Green Bay.
They got
They beat
passing
Green
back.
Bay.
I like that.
Yeah, they got passing back, bro.
They beat Green Bay.
They do, though.
Upset.
Wentz is
There's no
out 6
upset.
weeks.
No chance, Godfather.
Commanders
I'll
are
shake
terrible,
hands on
but
that now.
I have a feeling.
Yeah, let's
I would love that.
just a quick little roundup question.
Go ahead.
Is that the last time that Wentz starts for the Commanders this season?
No. Because when Taylor Heineke blows, you're going to understand that it has a lot more to do with the offensive line than just poor quarterback play.
So if he goes 4-2, what do you do?
You bring Wentz back. You pay 2 third rounders for him.
Okay,
To be
That's a fair
honest,
point.
I could
at least
see
I
it.
think.
That's a fair point.
I could see it going both ways. You want to know why? Yes, they made an investment in him. But the other thing is this: if the train goes completely off the tracks while he's gone, which I assume he'll be gone probably 3 weeks, maybe 4.
4 to 6,
But there's
they said.
I mean, they're saying all kinds of different things right now. So I want some more clarity there. But they have Sam Howell, and they like him.
Damn, I
And
forgot about him, actually.
They do.
I do think if the season's over, why not go get a look at this kid? Because you didn't invest a ton of draft capital there. So it's like, okay, if he sucks, we'll just go right back and hit on quarterback next year.
FR.
Or we'll get back into it, try and build around Carson Wentz next year. If it's even salvageable at that point. And it's nothing about Wentz. I think
Wentz
it don't
is
matter
terrible.
who's behind center right now.
I
don't think
see
it matters.
no shot in hell Carson Wentz will be the Commanders quarterback next year.
Really?
I just don't see it, man.
He's terrible.
I don't think it. I mean, look, the coach already threw him under the bus with his comments.
But he did fight for him last week.
Of course. Well, he had to.
It was passionate.
He had to fight for him, dude. After what he said, he has to defend him
Yeah.
now because it looks so bad on the entire organization.
It was a foolish thing to say.
You wanna know why he
It
has
looked
to do that,
bad.
Nick? It looked bad on Ron Rivera himself, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's why he backtracked and has to go out in full support.
I can't-
Because
Yeah.
he needs to keep his job.
He was such a clown
be
for
fired.
that meltdown. It was clown behavior.
You didn't need to do
Because
that.
no, well, here's the thing.
Especially
a
when
couple
he's leading
days
the
ago,
division in TD passes.
a couple of days ago, you threw your quarterback under the bus, and then all of a sudden, 2 days later, you're gonna fight for him. Like it doesn't even make any sense.
And he
it was
fought
all
cornball behavior.
It was all an act.
It wasn't even that.
Yeah.
It was the way he freaked out. It was like a parent defending their son.
Yeah.
Like he literally went on a tirade and walked out of the interview. And I'm looking, I'm like, dude, you have bipolar.
It looked rehearsed. It looked rehearsed. No,
You know what I'm doing?
It looked rehearsed.
Here's the pink slip. You're out of here.
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of him. I'm starting fresh next year. I mean, with the way it's going. And I just don't. I don't know.
It just looked
Carson
rehearsed.
Wentz.
It just
terrible.
I don't know.
Carson Wentz is not in a good situation right now.
Nah.
I thought it would be a little bit better than this. I'll be honest with you. We'll see. We'll see, guys. All right. We got one more thing. Well, I mean, we'll do a quick fantasy roundup to get out of here, but this is a quicker one. Phil, you want to change it real quick? Because we would be crazy to not at least give a mention to the powerhouses we saw.
I'm so sorry, guys,
Indeed.
but Bryce Harper just hit a home run, 1-0 Phillies, baby.
Let's go!
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby! Bring it, baby!
Bring it.
All they gotta
Bring
do,
it, baby!
all they gotta do is win one. If they win one in San Diego, they're winning this series.
Yeah, we were
sweeping
cracking
them.
up when you posted "Ring It, Baby."
I
can get behind
in
it.
terms of the Phillies, we were cracking up. I sent it to him, and we were dying.
The ring it, baby.
Yeah, ring it, baby.
That.
That's great.
Shout out.
That's a good call out, Nick. I don't even
Yeah.
have the
Ring
the
it,
score
baby.
open.
I'm pumped about it.
AFC Divisional Round rematch. It was a classic last postseason with the Bills and the Chiefs. It was another great matchup. Again, it came down to the wire. The Bills pull it out in the very final moments of the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, look, we already know how good these teams are, but this is why I have to ask this question. It's a facts or cap, okay? Facts or cap? The Bills and the Chiefs will face off in the AFC Championship game this year.
Well, it's certainly looking like it, but I'm going to go fact.
I'm going to say cat. I don't think the Chiefs will get there.
Who's the surprise?
Honestly,
If you had to say it right now.
This pick scares the shit out of me because their coach is just a fucking
Chargers.
bonehead. The Chargers. I tweeted this last night. When you're a good team, you can play bad games as long as you find ways to win them. Bad teams lose those type of games, and good teams find a way to get through the mud and win those games. I like the rest of the season schedule for the Chargers. I still think the Chargers are going to win that division. And I like the Chargers right now as a full unit. Their guys will get back. The left tackle, Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen.
Slater's out for the year.
Oh, he is out for the year?
Yeah,
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's a big...
I did not know that. But Joey Bosa will come back.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Keenan Allen will come back.
Yeah.
I still like them to win the division. And right now, I would say that I like them to get to the AFC Championship.
So were you alluding to the previous game they just played about them playing bad against Denver last night?
Well, the Broncos and against the Browns, because again, the Browns were scoring on them, which I know you can sit there and say that's troublesome that Jacoby Brissett was running through like that. But remember, Justin Herbert is still a little banged up. He's fighting through it. When you eke out wins like that, it builds character. Those are games you need to win, and that's how you will grow and you will progress. And I like the Chargers, and I'm not getting away from them.
I'm in agreement with the part about, good teams win those games. But I will also say this: 99% of the time that's true. 1% of the time you see that dumbass muff punt at the end, and good teams also need good breaks sometimes.
You do. That stuff.
That's
you need
one.
that.
So because they've had some bad breaks too so far this year. So that's why it's like, all right, it's the ultimate equalizer. The bad break being you lost your franchise left tackle and your franchise quarterback is battling a very tough injury to play through. So I'm willing to say, hey, good. They deserved a gift after what they've endured so far. They have not played their best football yet, and they will probably be a lot better later in the season.
And not for nothing,
I would hope, at least.
Yeah, I think they outplayed the Chiefs when they played them, and Justin Herbert made the mistake when he was throwing to Gerald Everett for the touchdown. But I think they outplayed them, even though they lost the game.
They did play better than the Chiefs in that game, but also the Chiefs have been a lot better since then.
Agreed.
And I'm going to say facts for the actual question. I just think I hope it happens, actually. They're the two best teams in football right now. No shade of the Eagles. They're just there's nothing else for me to say, really. This is what you expect.
They're not better than you.
This is what you expect right here.
Energy.
They're not better than you.
I'm the same way, but energy.
Bills and
They gotta pass a few more
Objective
tests.
take, I like it.
No one's
Objective.
been on the Eagles more than we have for the last 2 years, and I just have to say they have a few more tests to pass.
I love it though.
But they're right there. You already know my logic.
Oh yeah.
Agree, Mike. Love it.
I also never jumped off that Chiefs bandwagon either.
That's true. That's true. He stayed very consistent with the Chiefs. I gotta give him
All right,
credit.
fucking thank you, man. The Chiefs are just... Thank you very much.
It's true.
What's my name, GodFavre? Mike Mahomes?
Mike Russell. That's my favorite
That's the
one
best
ever.
one, right?
Yeah,
That's the best
he
one.
who shall
Russell.
not be named.
Why is that Mike Hurts?
Yeah, we don't need to go negativity now.
Mike Hurts.
GodFavre. Are you saying?
Yeah, for real. That's big balls. Yeah, Mike Hurts. That's the balls. Mike Hurts. You getting gaped. Straight up.
Ooh, double penetrated.
Oh, shit. Woo! DP.
GodFavre, did you say facts or cat
Let's talk
for this
about
one?
it.
That's so fucking crazy.
Who's the teams that'll be there if you had to decide right now?
I like the Chargers.
You two.
Between them and the Ravens.
Okay, I could get behind that too, Pauls. But they gotta fix this fourth quarter shit for real. They have to.
If they could fix that fourth quarter stuff that they're doing, or if they were winning those games, you could say the Ravens are probably the second best team.
I would have said the same thing if they were
Agreed.
If they were the 5-1 that
get
they
it,
should
though.
be right now, I would be saying that right now.
They're a
But
dangerous
they
team,
need
the
to win
Ravens.
in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And look, Rashad Bateman needs to get back on the field, and Deshaun Jackson. I like the signing, but
Yes,
do not
I was
count
ready
on
to
it.
say.
I actually like that in terms of how it might open up the
So
offense
what
a little
it does
bit.
with Deshaun Jackson?
Is that confirmed?
They got yes.
Interesting.
That was
Deshaun
on
Jackson.
the script earlier. We were about to say,
They didn't
should the
have
Eagles
that-
sign him?
Like
And it happened right on my
the
drive
Ravens
here.
are missing that deep threat guy.
Someone
Yeah, he's
is just-
35. I get it, but he's still a threat.
I agree.
You got to respect
With
the speed.
Lamar running the ball, I think that's a really good recipe.
It's a recipe,
It helped with the Rams last year. You know, he got traded, but he helped.
That opens up the field for the run game. Lamar Jackson as a runner.
Yeah.
The middle of the field for Mark Andrews. Because he still has the speed.
They want to win. So
interesting.
The Ravens
I'm going to give you guys a
sneaky.
sleeper that nobody really
Go
wants
ahead.
to see in December or playoff football.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Jets.
No.
Oh,
The
damn.
New England Patriots.
Oh yeah, right now they're
They
playing
are
great
playing
football.
some damn good football.
If they keep in Bailey
and
Zappi.
nobody is talking about them. Their defense is legit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is a good coach. He is still Bill Belichick.
They
you
found
know what
another
he
He's
did?
corner.
still him.
He
They found
tapped
another
in.
corner.
Of course they did, dude. That's a corner factory over there in New England.
He
They
tapped
find-
into his master class the last
Yes.
3 weeks.
He's been awesome.
He's been awesome.
He's been really good, and the offense has been playing really well. Ramondre Stevenson is beasting it. Hunter Henry had a good game. They got guys like Jacoby Myers who just produced. They're not flashy, but they move the chains. That's all. Like, that's their system. Their system is to play good defense, run the football, and move the chains. That is it.
Right.
That is New England style of football, and they are executing at a high level, and they look amazing.
Wait,
They
and
are a
get
sleeper
this,
team.
too.
They're a sleeper team.
Get this too. The one question mark was, wide receiver for them. They for some reason Kendrick Bourne was their main guy last year. He's in the doghouse, whatever.
Weirdly.
Anyway, there's some clarity to this room after this week. Tyquan Thornton.
Beast.
We were talking about him as a late round sleeper, and he comes back and he scores 2 touchdowns in his
He's
first
on my
game.
radar.
And they unlocked a new dimension of the offense with this kid because he is fast as shit.
Well,
Like, that's the thing. I mean,
call
they
him Brad.
needed a playmaker, and
call
he
him
just
Brad.
came back for free. They got this guy for free, right off injured reserve.
Look.
It's always nice when it works out.
Here's New England's next 4 games, and you can be honest with me. If they're all winnable, they play the Bears, they
Dub.
play the Jets, they
Dub.
play the Colts, they play the Jets again,
Dub.
then they play the
Dub.
Vikings, and then they play the Bills. That's that. Once they play the Bills, that's like going to be like their L. But I could see them going off 4 straight right here.
It's possible.
Maybe
Jets are
split
gonna
with the
be
Jets
tough.
because division game, and they're literally playing the Jets like
The
2
Jets
weeks
are gonna-
apart.
Can I be really honest
3
here
weeks
on
apart,
the?
sorry.
Jets are going to be tough on him.
All right.
Yeah, but New England's gonna have a
Jets are
bye
winning
week. New England's gonna have a bye week before the second Jets game. So if New England beats the Jets the first time, coming off a bye week, I like New England again.
Me too.
So it's gonna come down to the first matchup with the Jets.
I'm going to be really serious. I think that Bill Belichick went back to his roots, and you mentioned that, and I believe that's really true. Defense, keeping the ball close and playing. Bailey Zappi threw for 308 yards last week. I think there is a rift with Bill Belichick and Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones got a little too cocky, and I'm being serious here. Like, I know I make jokes about Mac. I'm being dead-ass serious when I say this. He was calling out the coaching staff and saying all that wild shit in the offseason. It's like, bro, you're not that dude to be doing that. Saying like, oh, I don't know what's going on in practice, and I don't know what we're doing on the offense and things like that. And I feel like Bailey Zappi, he's throwing the ball where it needs to go, when it needs to be there. And that's why the offense is clicking. And I don't think that the talent drop-off is big enough for them to go back to Mac Jones. I think it's Bailey's job. I'm dead serious when I say that, man.
Maybe, but
hard to-
the problem is with me in that situation is that New England spent a first-round pick to go get Mac Jones like 2 years ago. But so when you're highly invested in a player like that, to just get rid of him after a couple games of your backup playing really well is I don't think it's the smartest decision.
You know what I think the
I think
problem
he
They
is?
would
with
be
that?
able to
I think
flip
he-
him though. It's almost like
Yeah, but
Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady again.
It
the
is.
situation.
It is.
But obviously different players.
Different
Come on.
magnitude,
But
sure.
we've seen Belichick do it before when it was unpopular, is all I'm trying to say. And Drew Bledsoe was paid. He was a paid man at the time. He was the highest paid player in the league.
it's so true. Though,
This is a
because-
little bit different now.
Because Belichick is all about ego, right? Like he knows that Brady won a Super Bowl without him. So what does Belichick got to do to be like, Dan, he's still the GOAT. He's still the greatest coach of all time.
Win the Super Bowl
You know-
with Bailey Zappi.
No, he's got to be successful with Bailey Zappi. He's got to go to the playoffs and make some noise
That's
in the
what
playoffs.
I'm saying,
yeah. I'm not going to go as far as Super Bowl. I'm going to go as Bailey Zapp getting you to the playoffs after
yeah.
starting 3-3.
Definitely.
That would be like, holy shit. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. And in my opinion, he still is. He always will be. But I just think that's exactly what he would want to do. he would be like, all right, look, I'm going to take Bailey Zapp to the fucking playoffs
Absolutely.
and shove it right up your asses. You guys can have a $240 million quarterback. I don't give a fuck. I'll rock out with a 7th round or undrafted rookie and make it to playoffs.
Plus,
he's like that.
Right now, they could get value for Mac Jones because he made the playoffs as a rookie and had a good season. They could get value for him right
His
now.
value won't be higher than it is right now, I don't believe.
That's also possible. And the
I
other
don't
thing,
even know where a fit would be for him, though. Like, now that I think about it, I'm just like, where
be
you
honest,
go?
You know, I would
49ers liked him quite a bit.
I would say maybe the 49ers,
But
maybe
Trey Lance, though.
maybe Tennessee. He knows Vrabel.
Tennessee's a
Malik
good
Willis.
scheme.
Malik
Houston,
Willis is a runner. Mac Jones would have Derrick Henry. He would need some. He's got Robert Woods. You know, they got
Houston.
little guys there. Houston could be an option.
New England front office. Thing.
But I wouldn't want him to go to
Well,
Houston.
Easterby was fired.
I wouldn't want him to go to Houston because I don't believe he's talented enough to overcome that. What they got going on there.
Agreed.
Bad head coach. I just. No.
They got no. Well,
But they've had some
Houston-
decent drafts recently
yeah.
too, so
Houston's-
they will just rebuild
they're
around
fine.
him.
They have nothing. Like
It's a bad situation.
Yeah, anybody that goes there is in trouble. I think Davis Mills is talented. I just think he's in a bad situation. And
Yeah, he won't
it
be
is
the
what it
quarterback
is.
He would
next
look
year.
fine with Bill Belichick.
Sure he would. Sure he would.
One other quick note, guys, and then we're gonna do this. I'll tell you in a second, but there's one thing to look out for too. The Miami Dolphins, while we're on the subject, getting Tua back likely this week because the shine is kind of worn off with this team. No one's talking about him anymore. I'm interested to see how they respond when Tua returns because the whole team looks like it's been in shambles since.
They're going to rally around him.
I totally agree.
We'll see how they respond this week.
You
And we're gonna
I
talk
totally
about
agree with
You
I'm
see
with
all
you.
the doctors coming out and saying he should retire and put his health first and all that. When you play a physical game like that and he's putting his health on the line and he's coming back and being a warrior like that, you're going to have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Gesicki, McDaniel. That whole team is going to rally around him and they're going to pick up where they left off.
Totally agree. I'm 100% with you.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens, assuming he's back this week. One last segment, guys, and this is a quick one for you people who play fantasy football. It's waiver night, okay? So, guys, one-word answers here. Only one-word answers. I'm going to be listing some fantasy decisions that you might want to make in the wake of injuries or possible trades that could happen this week. So I'm going to tell you the situation. You're going to tell me who would you rather have? Who has more rest of season value? Okay? Because these are all guys that are going to be waiver targets this week. All right? So here's the first situation. And remember, one word answer only. You don't have to go into it. I'm going to kind of make it a layup here. All right? Hollywood Brown out likely 6 weeks. They thought that they were going to lose him for the season initially. And now it looks like 6 weeks. They went out and traded for Robbie Anderson. DeAndre Hopkins comes back this week. So my question for you is this. Rest of season, if you had to pick one of these guys, Rondale Moore or Robbie Anderson, who are you taking? Ready, go.
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore.
Agreed. All right. CMC. We already know he could be traded any minute. They're going to look for a trade for CMC, assuming they could get by the pick compensation hurdles, which they're saying first rounders. That's fucking wild, but they're looking to trade him, okay? So, Deontay Foreman, Chuba Hubbard. They are both Carolina running backs. Everyone assumes Foreman's the backup, but Hubbard is the guy who has been playing the second team snaps lately. So I'm just prefacing that here.
Deontay Foreman played 71% of the backup snaps last week.
But prior to that, Hubbard's had him probably 3 weeks in a row. Okay? So the bulk. That's why it's the bulk of the
Okay.
snaps. Who would you rather have, Foreman or Hubbard?
I'm going to go Foreman.
Foreman.
Agreed.
They signed him for a reason.
Agreed. And he's more of a
And he
lead
was
back.
awesome last year for Henry.
He was great.
He's more of an early down
I
type.
laughed at you. I remember that now.
I'm dead ass. He's a good player.
He's more of an early down type. Hubbard's more of a third down kind of a guy, if that. All right. Last situation. J.K. Dobbins, guys. The knee is kind of worrisome. He sat out the second half. His knee is bothering him. Reconstructed knee, okay? 3 things happened here. 1, Kenyon Drake went off. The veteran, Kenyon Drake, who I think is trash. 11 touches.
Agreed.
127 total yards. And a tutty replacing him. Justice Hill might be back this week. He was the main backup, second on the depth chart, highest yard per carry on the team.
He over the hill.
Okay. And then Gus Edwards possibly coming back into the fold this week. Gus Edwards might be back this week, and he was the lead back going into last year and the year prior. So there's something to be said. Which of those three would you rather have? Kenyon Drake, Justice Hill, or Gus Edwards?
Kenyon Drake. I'm going with the hot hand.
Same.
Drake.
I'm taking the
Had a
flyer on
monster
Gus
game
Edwards.
with Giants, so.
Really?
They keep this man around for a reason, I feel like.
The Gus bus.
He is always there.
He's been good, too.
I
He fits the system very well.
What about fantasy?
I know. I just like it's Gus
not
fucking
rocking with
Edwards,
somebody named
bro.
Gus.
Like,
Because the guy will get the early down work and the goal line work.
that's true.
That's why.
Something about Gus is unsettling to me.
Yeah.
I know. The Gus bus, man. Get on board the Gus bus.
Right? Gus is contained, bro.
All right, Philly, Phil,
I
wrap
didn't
it
even
up.
think about that, bro.
Wrap it up. We
crazy.
gotta get out of here. The Phillies are
I
playing.
feel like when I hear Gus, I feel like Crazy Taxi. from
Gus
Xbox.
bus. Don't forget it.
You remember him, Phil? Gus from Crazy Taxi on Xbox.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Philly, Phil,
Fuck
P&I
Gus.
music. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here.
Come on, Phil.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
P&I music, please.
Sorry, I was writing shit.
There's a lot of stuff going on. It's all good. Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm sorry, say that again.
We just went so crazy.
Yeah, tell the audience that. We just went so fucking crazy. This is the best fucking podcast.
Hell
on the
yeah.
net. If you guys haven't done so already, fucking follow us on every single platform. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your host. Tell your mistress. Tell anybody to spread our podcast out there. We are the greatest show on the fucking net. And thank you for the GodFavre to come on our show for the fourth
legend.
time. The
give a
legend.
round of applause.
He brings so much energy to the table. It's
GodFavre
great.
energy.
Great.
Hashtag GodFavre energy.
I love it.
Okay?
I love it.
So, it's like that, really. Episode
My neighbors hear that.
114 featuring the GodFavre. Powered by Playmaker, brought to you by Prize Picks, Daily Fantasy made easy. Also, as usual, we were live at the Props Network at propshq.com, where you need to go over and subscribe now. And finally, what are we wearing?
Fantastic fabric.
Fantastic fabric, courtesy of IPP Presswork, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. If you want P&I merch, DM us for pricing and details, and we'll get you hooked up. Next episode, Thursday, 8 p.m., Week 7 game picks. Theories. Take it away. Enjoy the bye week. And go Phillies!
Go Phils, baby! Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on propshq.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher.
And all that other mud.
Also follow mud. Yeah, that's crazy,
I look
fam.
forward to this part of the show every week now. To see what word he's going to say.
Also, don't forget to follow us on all of our socials, such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we will see you guys this Thursday at P&I, baby.
Go Birds!
The Fightins!
Go Phils!
The Fightins!